Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Today, inshallah ta'ala, we will take standardizing a normal distribution. In previous lectures, we studied together how to find out the probability involving standard normal distribution. So we say that if we have a standard normal a continuous random variable, and this one is a standard normal distribution variable, with a mean, as we said, 0 and variance 1, we managed to find out the probability involving that standard normal distribution variable. As a matter of fact, fortunately, and as you know, we managed to find out the probability using the standard normal distribution tables in your book in page 222, if you remember. Fortunately, as a matter of fact, we can find even the probability involving continuous random variable follows normal distribution regardless of the values of mu and variance. يعني even if I have a continuous random variable follow normal distribution, let's say, suppose with mean 10 and variance 9, suppose, okay? Can we find that probability or not? We studied before, as we said, how to find out the probability involving standard normal distribution. But what about if we have this case? Can we? Yes, we can. Fortunately, we can. And we can use even the tables of standard normal distribution. How? Through the process of standardization. Okay, so if we have here a continuous random variable follows normal distribution with any value of mu, the mean I mean, in general, and any value of variance, okay? So hence Z here in this case, in order to go through the standardization, Z will be x minus mu over sigma. In order to go through the standardization process, to change that continuous random variable into standard normal variable, you have to go through that equation to change x into z. It is very similar to the process of changing the currencies from currency to other according to a certain rate. And here the same thing. Again, we are saying if we have continuous random variable follows normal distribution, okay, regardless of the values of mu and variance, we can change that x into z through that equation to make it standard normal distribution. And once you arrive to the value of z, you can go through the normal process that we studied before in the previous lectures to find out the probability. Okay, I will give you an example. Through that example, we will explain more and more. Here, given that x, continuous random variable, follows normal distribution, okay, with mean 11, always the first value is the mean. And the second value is the variance. This is the mean, and this is variance, okay? Here my question is, find probability of x, now we are saying, less than 18. Find the probability that x less than 18. Since we are dealing with a continuous random variable, how did we know? It follows normal distribution, and as you know, normal distribution deals with the continuous random variable. But here, this one is not standard, okay? So we have to go through the standardization process in order to find out the value of that probability. How to do that? يعني, the first example, just I want to show you mathematically. Here, look here. If you make x minus mu, okay, take minus mu from both sides. Just I want through the first example just to show you mathematically the process. Then divide both. We are subtracting, so we are keeping the direction as it is. We are dividing by sigma, and as you know, sigma is positive value. So since if it is positive, we are not going to change the direction of that. طيب, So minus mu both, then divide both by sigma. So what is this now? What is this? This is nothing but z, according to that definition. Z will be x minus mu over sigma, less than. Now replace. What's the value of mu? It's 11. So 18 minus 11 over sigma. What is sigma? Sigma is a square root of the variance. Square root of. This is 25, so square root of. So it is 5. Exactly. So now we managed to change x into z through the standardization process. Now easily we can deal with the tables of standard norm distribution to find out the probability easily. طيب. So here will be of z less than 18 minus 11, so it will be 7 divided by 5, which is 1.4. خلاص, I think since you have probability and you have z, as we said, less than and positive value, this is equivalent to, as you know, phi 1.4, right? Now we can go directly to the tables to find out the value. You can go to the tables, page 222, to find out the value. You will find it that it is 0.919. This is the issue. So the new point today is just the standardization here in this step. While other steps we already studied together in previous lectures. Okay, let's take another example. Let's take another example. Given that x here follows normal distribution with mean 20 and variance 7, find probability of x more than or equal 16.6. Okay, 16.6. طيب. Here the same thing. In order to find out the probability for the continuous random variable follows normal distribution, we have to make the standardization process. We have to change x into z more than, and this one you will apply the formula of z always equals x minus mu over sigma. Sometimes the variable here, the continuous random is y. No problem. X, y, r, t, whatever it is. You have to see it from here, okay? So apply, so this is x, this is the value of x, okay? So it is 16, you will say, minus mu. What is mu? This is mu, 20. Over sigma. What is sigma? It is the square root of that value, because this one is variance, as we mentioned before. Square root of 7. So more than or equal. And by the way, as I told you before, if you have equal or you don't have the same thing, because the probability in the continuous random variable, the probability of having a certain value, it is 0. Okay, so here طبعا by calculations you have to make it to 3 significant figures. You have to subtract and divide. The answer will be negative 1.285. Okay, negative probability of z more than or equal negative 1.285. طبعا here I cannot deal with the tables directly. I have to modify it because I should have probability z, it should be less than and positive value in order to find out the probability directly from the tables in page 222. So what we have to do, يعني even you can imagine the situation. As we said, you can draw simple normal standard normal distribution. Okay, this is always mu 0 here. This is standard normal distribution. Okay, where is that value? It is to the left of 0. So say it is here. Okay, so more than probability of z more than that value, more than it is all of that part, right? All of that part. Is it clear? It is all of that part. This is more than. more than the negative value. This is equivalent to what? This is equivalent to what? Go to the positive value, which is here, and that area, as we said, is equivalent to that area. Here, 1.285. It is 1.2885 or less. So they are equivalent, okay? So this one is equal to Z less than or equal 1.285. In other words, I told you before, in other words, if you want to change it into positive, just switch here, switch that one, the sign, and switch that. Both. So this is positive, switch it to be less than. So now, can we find it from the tables directly? Yes, we can. And this one is equivalent to phi 1.285. This one is equivalent to that one. So equals, from the tables, you have to find it. Okay? Which is, okay, find it through the tables. Okay, let's go to the tables. Page 222. Together, 1.285. 1 point, we have to go 1.2. Okay, 1.2. Then 8. Here you have 1.28. You have 0.8997. Yes. Then we have to add, go to that columns to add, okay, we have to add, we have to go to 5 here, and we have to add, how much we have to add? Yes, please. We have to add 9. You have to add 9 here. So once you add it, how much will be? Here 6, add them. 0, here 1, 0, then 1, so 9. So this is the answer, 0.9006. This is the probability. طبعا in the examinations we are dealing with 3 significant figures, so that one will be nothing but 0.901. Okay, is it clear? Hopefully is clear. So the only, as we said, just you need to standardize here, while the other process we studied together. Okay, let's take more and more examples. I think the idea is very interesting, very simple, and very direct. Okay, let's take more examples. Here, the same thing. If you have continuous random variables, follows normal distributions with mean 5 and variance 5. Okay, find probability of that one. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to go through the standardization process by changing x into z, and we have to change these values because these are written in terms of x. So what we have to do, this one is equivalent to, look here, now I'm changing x into z by standardization process. Here what we have to do, 2 minus, what's the mean? 5 over square root of 5. Hopefully it's clear. 2 minus the mean, as we said, z equals always x minus mu over sigma. And here the same thing, 9 minus 5 over square root of 5. Okay, so this one is equivalent to, yes, by the calculations now, we have this value, negative 1.342. Okay, while here 1.7 8, 9. Okay? So, aywa, how did we learn how to find the combined inequality? We said this is phi, the greatest, 1.789, minus phi, the lowest here, negative 1.342. Now, what about this one? How to deal with that? As you know, 1.789 minus, that one is equivalent to always phi minus, it is 1 minus phi positive, as we studied before. From the tables you can find this value and that one, replace and find the answer. So nothing is new as a matter of fact except that step, only the standardization process. So once we have normal distribution, no matter the values of mean and variance, we can deal. We can find out the probability of that random variable easily using the standard normal distribution by the process of standardization. Okay. Hopefully you will go page. You have many questions to solve on page 203 and 204. Please solve as much as you can from the questions in order to master that skill. So you have homework page 203 and 204. You can solve, please, question 1, 2, and 3. Please try to master it because it is very important. Very simple, very direct, but almost such questions will come in the final exam. My best wishes for all of you. Barakallah fikum. Inshallah, next lecture, inshallah, it will be, inshallah, either I will give you more exercises or inshallah I will attack the last topic in that chapter and in that book. See you inshallah. Barakallahu fikum. My best wishes for all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.